Perfect.
Okay.
In your own time.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, my name is Yaelle, and you're listening to KXLU. Underneath your wrinkled eyes and cheeks, there are soldiers drawing arrows back. And in between my tongue and seething teeth, a child ducks on the ground with hands clasped around his head. And my last words stack up in my head. Buried in the wrinkles around your eyes, Lieutenant cries. He waves a red flag to make those soldiers fly. All the people prepare to die. Here I am, bleeding out in your arms. I said I meant no harm. Here I am, surrendering the war, beginning with one frown. One frown. One frown. Thank you. Should I talk about the songs at all?
Yeah, if you'd like to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that song was called War Smile, and I posted it on YouTube a couple weeks ago, and someone said that it felt like running drunk through a jungle. This next song I'm gonna play does not sound like running drunk through a jungle. Underneath the space around my rim, I'm a glass, brittle and thin, and your eyes, they like to swing a bat, shattering me in 10,000 shards. You hold them in your fists and flex your arms. Wipe that stupid grin, or I'll sink right in. All of your glances speak in tongues, tugging me in the pit of love. All of your moves crack me open. Everything you do cuts through it better clear with every cure I ingest. I'm tired of the somewhere there should be none, none where there should be somewhere there should be none, and none where there should be some. With a hood or stethoscope, hand me what can't be known. When the noise cuts through, I'm alone, fondling a doctor's note to dial down the somewhere there should be none, none where there should be somewhere there should be none, and none where there should be some. Only a few channel all the somewhere there should be none. Only a few revel in the none where there should be. That one is called Some Where There Should Be None, and None Where There Should Be Some, but that title is way too long. This one is about manifestation. Glimmer in my eye, a vision pulled to present time. Inhale my treasure, holding a piece of sky that brushes up against your spine. Float to me like a feather, gloom-ridden mind, put up a fight, but lose to the light that travels fast and wide. From spine to eye, the miracles I receive surrender while the cloth gets weaved. Then fiction breaks from its tether, laid back to circumstance, 'cause I know where the next one lands, straight into your center. Gloom-ridden mind, put up a fight, but lose to the light that travels fast and wide. From spine to eye, 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 spine to eye. Yay, thank you. I hope everyone is manifesting something good for 2026. I successfully manifested the wrong things last year, so I'm trying to use my creative energy elsewhere. That sounds very cryptic. I'm going to Elliott Smith's favorite tuning. see if that works. Cracking open the rings of a tree with fists. Tell me, how many lives have you lived? Point to when you once loved, when you had it in you to give. Tell me, I'll find a spot to sink in. You dragged me through the mud in a storm I couldn't see, and I'm trying to be still with nothing to say to the winds, the runs, the drops of pins, the tree I ought to be. Screaming with a frosted breath at a steady branch, your face, a statue in the mist. The only thing ever exchanged from each other's lips was fire for iced ambivalence. You dragged me through the mud in a storm I couldn't see, and I'm raising a flashlight towards the sun, asking if I love you meant anything. A tree I ought to be. I'm blowing dust off dirty windows for a pair of eyes. They pace around a kid in the wrong store aisle. In your pupils there's a lark I watch slam and slide down glass, and my impulse was to kiss it gone with shards in my hands. Your head's in clouds, you don't know I'm around. The soil it gives, I'll see you in the ground. Okay, that song was called Tree Song. It's about wanting to be a tree, which I hope is somewhat relatable. This song is called Needle Off. Needle off the record, run outside where wires carry grim doves in a line. The sea lies still before the last rock skips. I'll throw it in. Throw both palms to an orange sky. Push the sun to set. An empty space for red hot weight I can't quite bear yet. Needle off the record, let it spin. Walk the line between departure and way in. never meant to last. Fringes bite while the center view blurs the truths you knew. Lonely in company while bells blare from empty rooms. I do all sorts of screwed up tunings. That I stole from Daniel Rawson and Adrian Lenker. This one is called Purple Fist. Scorch in the middle of your hot pin. I'm fine there, I'll just stand. The seam at the top of my head dancing. Okay, we're switching over now. Yes, this song is called Claw Machine, and I think the lyrics kind of describe the title of it. And when I produce it, there's going to be some really spooky carnival stuff going on in the production. And yeah.
this has been the Cosmic Catalyst on KXLU, and we just had Yaelle into the station performing live, pre-recorded, but thank you so much for coming in. And yeah, so how did you first hear about KXLU?
So I listen to the radio a lot because I don't have a car that has the right adapter for Bluetooth. So I listen to the radio and CDs. But also my friend who's a musician told me about KXLU and how it's the cool station.
Okay.
So.
And so you were like, gotta see if I can get on there, make something happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long have you been playing music now as a solo act?
So I started playing the guitar when I was 19 because I kind of just wanted to learn basic chords and to cover songs, and I really liked singing, so I was just planning on doing it as a hobby. And then I was really angsty that summer, and then I just started writing a bunch of songs, and then it just continued for several years after that.
Yeah. And was there any interest before that you kind of like went into it thinking like you might want to be writing more, or was it
Not
like really just spontaneous?
It was really spontaneous and surprising. The only thing that I remember is when I was 11, I think I wrote one song, and I was in a play for a summer camp, and I was really pissed that everyone else in the play had a song that was written in for them, but I didn't. So then I wrote my own song. You
were like, you're not going to exclude me like that. Wrote yourself back into it. I love that.
Yeah.
And who have been your musical influences? Like maybe even before becoming a more practiced and official songwriter.
Right.
And now that you are.
Yeah. I think before I got into music as something that I was taking seriously, I was listening to, I don't know, I think when I was 15, it was a lot of Lana Del Rey, and, you get started out with everyone who's trendy and indie and cool. So it was Mac DeMarco and Kali Uchis and Billie Eilish. But then I started getting more into Sufjan Stevens and Elliott Smith. And Elliott Smith was the first artist that really spoke to me. And thinking that I kind of wanted to explore more music that sounded really melancholic and creepy and haunting. And then when I became a musician, it was, I got really into Fiona Apple later in life, and Madison Cunningham is who inspired my guitar playing. Mm-hmm. Like, she doesn't really know theory, and she just does whatever she feels intuitively and comes up with her own really inventive guitar parts. And so when I listened to her music, I was like, oh my God, I have to learn how to play the guitar like that. And yeah, Elliott Smith and Fiona Apple and Jeff Buckley and Radiohead.
I was getting little hints of some of those artists in there for sure.
Yeah.
So when you are writing now, so how far into your solo discography are we now? I've got one album and then 3 singles.
And an EP on the way?
And an album on the way.
Full album on the way. Okay. Full album on the way. It'll be done at the end of March. And I'm going to try to...
Wow. So this quickly. This is a release show,
yes.
Kind of almost.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, the bulk of the work, because it's getting put on tape, like I'm recording it all on tape.
Amazing.
So the bulk of the work is me just practicing everything on guitar like crazy. But after that happens, we're going to do it on tape. And actually, Alex G's guitarist, Sam Acchione, is co-producing it.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's Ben Zaidi, who's been my longtime producer collaborator. I met him on the internet 3 years ago. And Sam, they're making my album.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how many of the songs that we just heard are soon to be on that album?
Most of them. The only 2 that are not on there are Tree Song and Needle Off, and those are both out already. Yeah.
Amazing. So we were talking earlier about, way earlier, about how you've moved from New York to LA and how that's kind of been a transition. Do you feel that's impacted any of your songwriting at all? Kind of having traveled and being in kind of a new place and still pursuing music?
I definitely think with LA, it's definitely isolating, and especially because I moved here not really knowing that many people, it allows you to be a lot more introspective. But I don't know. I wouldn't say that my surroundings really impact my music. I feel like most of my interest is about interpersonal relationships and interpersonal dynamics. Hence, I was a psych major, so that's kind of the thing that I really hyper focus on a lot. So,
Psych major turned musician.
Yeah.
It's a fun pipeline right there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got an album on the way coming up March. Any shows coming up? Anything like that?
I have one in April. I don't remember where it is.
Somewhere in the LA area.
Somewhere in the LA area. I'm hoping at some point to play at Healing Force. And Scribble and all those little places. Yeah.
Very cool. For this new album.
Yeah.
At some of your shows, you incorporate your artwork and your kind of your artwork into your music and into like visual collages and things like that. Video making, video editing. Can we expect some of that coming from the new album?
Definitely.
Maybe a music video or two?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be full-blown content city.
Yeah. And some of this still hasn't been produced yet,
No.
as far as the tape stuff goes, because you haven't recorded any of the songs? Or
No.
Okay.
I haven't recorded any of them yet. I could easily do voice memo stuff and upload that onto the internet whenever I want to. But, and I've done video recordings for YouTube of just live performances that I do in front of a green screen. But yeah, none of them are recorded yet. But the video editing stuff I do, I learned a lot of it on my own on CapCut on my phone. But I work with my cousin who's an animator, and then I also work with this animator I found on the internet who's super cool. And I just reached out to her, and yeah.
Very cool. And if people want to support you more, what are the best ways to do that? As an artist and also as a video maker, everything. Yeah,
I think I'm going to put my album on Bandcamp before I put it on streaming. So that will be available for purchase months and months before I put it out on other platforms. So I think that probably is the main way that you could support me. And and also just, I don't know, really, if you really like what I do, then you could tell me.
You do have an Instagram account.
Yeah.
Which you're free to plug if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. It's at Little Miss Yaelle. Yaelle is spelled Yaeli. Yeah. And that's kind of that's my username on everything.
It's the branding.
Yes.
So artist branding.
Yes, the artist branding. I'm getting real in the weeds of it right now.
It's a deep rabbit hole you can go down.
Yeah.
So you mentioned some venues that you're looking forward to trying to play at. And we already kind of briefly talked about what it's been like coming to LA. This is kind of a question I've been throwing at everyone recently. But there's a lot going on in the world right now. How have you been finding music as both an outlet for yourself, but also as a community that you are a part of?
Right.
Does it leave you more hopeful? What are some artists that you've been helping you feel more hopeful about the state of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think Geese is doing a lot of really good political stuff. I feel like there was something that one of them said in an interview that was like, if you are trying to write a song about a very specific pointed thing, a lot of times it doesn't come out the way that you intend it to. And I feel like whenever I sit down to write a song that is very much about my anger at a specific thing, I always leave with something very unexpected that comes out of it. So I don't know. I think it's just weird because when you let yourself be angry in the form of music, you're always kind of surprised by what comes up in your subconscious. Like I wrote a really angry song that ended up being about a moth and a devil and an angel. And I don't know where any of those images came from, but it felt really Dr. Seuss. And
we have to psychoanalyze this.
Yeah, exactly.
Time to pull out the degree.
Yeah, exactly. We have to psychoanalyze it. But yeah, I don't know. I think music has always been catharsis. I think anyone who's super obsessed with music, like I was a really lonely kid and that was how I got into it. So I think it will always be there as a form of escape. But yeah, it's so weird to know where the line is between escape and then addressing things. And
That's true.
Yeah, and I feel like our generation isn't super hopeful. I feel like we're pretty cynical a lot of the time because of how much we're ingesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like maybe writing music is a way that you can contribute to the world as opposed to just consuming everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then probably last question, but any advice you'd give to anyone that's trying to get into music and is maybe afraid to take that first step, that first plunge?
Yeah, I think it's a lot about lobotomizing yourself. It's about getting a lobotomy and just getting over your own perfectionism and your fear of being seen, which takes a really long time. That's why I feel like so many musicians end up doing drugs and have really horrible, painful deaths, is because it's hard regardless of where you are in the process, because then when you get successful, you have another intense set of eyes on you. And so you're trying to figure out how to make music as if no one's watching, but you have to just find a way to make things as if no one's watching, and also not like detaching from the outcome of what you want, of what's gonna come out of it, I guess. Yeah.
I love that. Final question. This will be a fun one. What is one of your favorite songs that you've discovered on radio recently, or through radio?
Ooh, I don't know the names of anything. There's this one KXLU station that does a lot of French sub pop electric finds.
Electric, interesting.
Or like,
is it more
broadcasty?
Well, do you know what time it's usually on?
It's
because
on
that would
at
be
like
the giveaway.
maybe 6 on a weekday, maybe 6 p.m. on a weekday.
I'm wondering who that is now.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, but some of those tracks.
Yeah,
you
some
were
of those
connecting with?
tracks that kind of sound
Good
like
work music,
broadcast.
almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been
almost
in that,
elevator music.
like French electronic elevator music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully by the time this is airing, I'll be able to name drop whoever's station that is.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can figure it out after this interview.
Are you listening to a lot of broadcast-esque music?
This interview only goes one way. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding. What have I been listening to? A lot of kind of more singer-songwriter-y stuff. So you came along right at the right time. For anyone that doesn't know, I had Micah Prieta in recently, who is very singer-songwriter-y. I've been in that kind of headspace, but then also in like a very interesting, like, I don't want to say European EDM, but like European like electronic / ambient.
Cool.
And then of course you get the random artists that like just catch you off guard, and you're like, hey, that's great. We'll throw that into the rotation. But it does make the kind of my personal playlist a little bit more jarring than the stuff that I'm playing on air at KXLU.
Yeah. No, on KXLU I saw there was like a German EDM or a Dutch or Belgian EDM thing going on.
There definitely probably is. We've got a little taste of almost everything on KXLU in some form. If there's a DJ here that's not doing it, we'll have to fill that void.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for coming in. It was wonderful to listen to you play. I'm really excited to be able to share this with people. If you're listening on the radio right now, via a YouTube video soon. And yeah, thanks again so much for coming in.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
This has been the Cosmic Catalyst on KXLU, signing off. Cool.